A Final Glimpse, the last photographs of Queen Elizabeth II and memories of her final days. Jane Barlow, a seasoned royal photographer, had the rare privilege of capturing the final public images of Queen Elizabeth II during what would be her last official duty, meeting with Liz Truss, the newly appointed Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. It was a moment of historic significance, though at the time, no one could have predicted just how soon the Queen would pass away. Taken at Balmoral Castle, the Queen's beloved retreat in Scotland, those photographs have since become poignant reminders of her final days. Reflecting on the experience, Barlow recalls the atmosphere that day and the moments she shared with Her Majesty before the Prime Minister's arrival. Though visibly frail, the Queen exuded warmth, appearing to be in high spirits despite the toll of her advancing years. As they waited, they engaged in lighthearted small talk, a true hallmark of British interactions, discussing the stormy Scottish weather. The skies may have been overcast, but the Queen's demeanor remained bright, her face adorned with genuine smiles. Barlow had been assigned to photograph the formalities of the meeting between the monarch and the new Prime Minister, an event that was routine in nature, yet steeped in tradition. However, when she later reviewed the images, it was the solo portrait of the Queen that stood out to her the most. The image, at the time, seemed like a simple, candid moment, Her Majesty standing with a warm yet slightly wistful expression, but in the days that followed, as news of her passing broke, it took on a weight of immeasurable significance. In hindsight, Barlow considers it both an honor and a privilege to have spent those last moments with the Queen, capturing not just an official duty but a deeply human moment in time. Having been in her presence so close to the end, she feels fortunate to have preserved that fleeting moment in history through her lens. The Queen's passing at the age of 96 marked the end of an era, and her final official photographs have since become a symbol of her unwavering dedication to her role, right up to the very end. Barlow was not the only one to spend time with Queen Elizabeth II in her final days. Another visitor to Balmoral around that time was the Rev. Dr. Ian Greenshields, a church leader who had been invited to deliver a sermon at a place of worship close to the Queen's heart. Having had the opportunity to dine with her just days before her passing, he has since spoken about how deeply he was struck by the rapid decline in her health. Despite her physical frailty, Greenshields remembers her as someone who still possessed the ability to make those around her feel completely at ease. She greeted him with warmth, engaging in conversation with the grace and attentiveness that had defined her public and private life. Though her declining health was apparent, the extent to which she would deteriorate in the coming days was unimaginable. When he last saw her on a Sunday, she had been in a positive frame of mind, reflecting on life, her experiences, and the many remarkable people she had encountered throughout her reign. She spoke candidly about her reflections on life's journey, the afterlife, and what lay beyond. It was a deeply personal conversation, one that touched on themes of resurrection and eternity, before naturally flowing into other subjects. One topic that the Queen mentioned multiple times was Balmoral itself. The castle had long been her sanctuary, a place where she could truly relax and find peace away from the demands of royal duty. Greenshields recalls her speaking about how much she loved being there, emphasizing more than once how it brought her a profound sense of comfort. In retrospect, it seems deeply fitting that she spent her final days in the place she cherished most. For over 96 years, 70 of which she spent as Queen, Elizabeth II remained one of the most photographed and widely recognized figures in the world. From her early days as a young princess to her historic reign as the longest-serving monarch in British history, her image became an enduring symbol of stability and continuity. Through moments of national triumph and times of great hardship, she remained a steadfast figure, committed to her people and her duties until the very end. Following her passing, the transition to a new era of monarchy began, with her eldest son assuming the throne as King Charles III. The weight of history now rests on his shoulders, as he steps into a role that his mother held with unwavering dedication for 7 decades. The final days of Queen Elizabeth II, as recalled by those who were fortunate enough to be near her, paint a picture of a woman who, despite the inevitability of age and frailty, remained true to the qualities that defined her reign: gracious, thoughtful, and deeply at peace with the life she had lived. Though her presence is no longer felt in the same way, her legacy endures, immortalized not just in history books, but in the images and memories that those who met her will carry forward.